Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Art in the Morning. We already did a little studio update, new magazine, some happy mail from Miss Vicky B. And so we're going to play with some watercolor today. This is a live show on Ustream.tv. Thanks, everybody, for being here. If you're in chat, and we have like over 100 people this morning. Thanks, everybody, for being here on a Monday morning, especially after daylight savings time. I'm surprised. I gotta say, I'm totally surprised Terry's here. That's even extra early for Terry. So thanks, Terry. Okay, Suzanne, we'll have to try to figure that out. That would be fun. Um, so anyway, we're going to play with a little bit of watercolor today. If you're watching on YouTube on the recording, thanks for watching over there. Again, I am talking to live people, mostly awake people. I think I put a few people to sleep in part one when we showed this. But other than that, we're all good and we're ready for some watercolor play. So I have my sketchbook here, and I just kind of flip through to kind of find something that I might want to draw. I thought about doing a manatee, and we might do an ombre manatee because just a gray manatee is not too much fun. So I wrote ombre manatee on here, so we might do that. But I really am thinking I might want to do a lionfish. So I think that's what we're going to draw, and I'm just going to draw it on some cardstock, and then it's not even watercolor paper, which I could do it on watercolor paper, but personally I can't find any hot press watercolor, and I'd like the smooth. I don't like the textured watercolor cold press or rough. I don't like the textured watercolor, so we're just going to work today on oh, you're welcome, Dragonfly. We're going to work on just some 110 weight cardstock and see what happens. But I think we're going to redraw. This is just my sketchbook for ideas, things to draw. This was a test of the Crayola watercolor. They're not watercolor, water-based markers, and you can see they don't go through. So that's what that one was about. Just a little bit of sketching and ideas. This is where we combine things. We pick two things off my list and combine them. There's my crowns right there for Eileen, Janet, and Paula, the enabler crowns. So just a little bit of everything, just little sketches in here to get ideas. None of this is meant to be finished in here, but it's ideas to take these ideas and then redraw them over on other paper. So I'm just going to set this aside for just a second. There's my different places I have lists going on. The girls helped me make another new list last week, so we have two or three lists in this book. But I wanted to show you what I did. I did finish and post it. Let me do the backstory here. My niece and my great niece, my niece and her daughter, had their little pup die last week, and I think maybe it was week and a half ago. And Lisa, my niece, posted this picture of her daughter, Sabrina, on Facebook. She fell asleep on a photograph of her dog, Chi Chi. This just got me, that just got to me. She fell asleep on the picture of her dog. So I had to draw a picture for her. So this one is for Sabrina. Its name is Chi Chi, and little names on the little collar there. So this, and it's in plastic, guys. It's ready. See, I've got it taped down, ready to mail. Or if we meet them at the lake or something, I'll take it down there. So you're going to see a little bit of a glare. But I did post it on Facebook and Twitter, so y'all can see it over there if you follow me on either. Well, you don't even have to follow me on Facebook. It's a public picture. I put it in my pet portrait. I know, right? So it's one of the quick sketches. You can see it's just a sketchy kind, like I did the two for Miss Annette, who, by the way, got them and loved them. She said her girls love their portraits. And they're quick sketches. You see me do a couple of these last week. They're not like full-on portraits, but I wanted to do something for Sabrina, and so there's that. So there's that update. All right, so what I want to do, thanks guys. I know. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I know, little Sabrina. I know, fell asleep on the picture, right? Okay. So I already misted these down once to get them kind of saturated, get them reconstituted, right? And I'm not going to do this one right now because I'm going to try not to use my old. I love this set, and if there's a look, I've mixed kind of every color you can think of, but I'm trying to use these two new sets. This one right here is the Jane Davenport Skin Color set, and this one is the Bianyo set, 36 colors. And I got this one at Amazon. I'm just going to tilt it a little here so I have the tray here. Well, actually, I could just go like this and use the tray. And then this one I got at Michael's in the Jane Davenport section, along with the mermaid markers. And some people have had some problems with these. I haven't yet, so we'll see. I did a swatch of all these, but I don't know where I put the swatch right now. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Links are open. Thanks, Suzanne. Anybody? Yeah, she posted. I think she posted the link to that. So I did buy this other little palette specifically to put my mermaid markers in and have a place to drop them out and do some watercolor mixing spot, right? So let me go ahead, and I think I'm going to just start by putting them in, let's see, let's kind of go to the purple, then the pink, then the sort of color wheel family. Here, that's black, I think. So the blue, the blue, the green, the green, the black. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. That's the brown. We'll start with the brown on this side. And then the green right there. Okay. They're sort of, I just want to be able to have them sort of kind of in a wave, in the rainbow wave. And I'm not even sure if I got these two. I think this one's called Beach, and this one is more the yellow, I think. So this one might be more the yellow. This might be more the pink color. So we'll put that one second. It's kind of hard to tell just by going off of the caps, right? So we're going to start with this. And I just got this cheap little palette just to play with these colors. So I'm going to put a drop of each color in here. And then I might do a little mix play here with a water brush, which let me get a little bit more water here. This is almost empty. We'll draw a lionfish or, maybe do that manatee or something. We're just going to play a little bit with some watercolor. Yeah, the rainbow wave. You know how they are, and there's a name for the color wave. Not the color wheel, but just, I guess it's technically could be on the color wheel too, but anyway. All right, so let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze a drop in each one of these. I think I have enough. I think there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think so. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so I got one for each. Okay. So I'm just going to squeeze it out. These are brush markers. They're just like your water brush. It's a brush tip marker with, hairs. It's not a felt tip. It's actually a brush. And the thing about these are kind of expensive, even though I got it with, I think, a 60% off coupon. But I figured that after they're done, you could use them for even just water brushes. Or even if there's just a little bit of color left in them, it could be like a wash. So I'm going to squeeze until some comes out. I'm going to try to squeeze out a couple drops in each one. Now, I want to make sure that it's not like a big blob on there when I put the lid back on, which, may happen. I just want to test out a couple drops in each one. Because they're very concentrated. They're very concentrated watercolors. I don't know if they're comparable, like to Jean has the Sargent brand. She bought the big bottles full and her own water brushes. But yeah. So I'm just going to, ooh, that one kind of popped, squeezed it. Okay. Oh, let me tell you the colors as I'm going. The first brown is called Reef. like a, like a coral reef. The next one is called Pirate's Gold. I'll zoom in a second. This one's Beach, kind of the orange color. Then the red is called Lobster. It's the magenta kind of color is called Starfish. Now we have Coral. Again, just squeezing out a couple drops. Then the purple lavender color's Jellyfish. She named everything after the sea because they're called mermaid markers. Bought the empty water brushes, yeah. And so she has faux mermaid. Jean has some faux mermaids. Okay, then this one is Deep Sea. And it's a dark purple. Then this one is Blue Bottle. Then this one is Brighton Bay. Brighton Bay? Byron Bay. Byron Bay. It's probably some, because Jane's from Australia, so this might be someplace in Australia. Then the green one is Siren. Oh, wait. Oh, I was going to say I don't have enough slots, but I'm looking over there. It's my water brush. That's that last one. And then Seaweed. Okay, so there's Seaweed. So there's all the 12 colors. They're pretty, I know, even in the palette, right? So now I'm going to get just a sheet of paper. I don't really need one of these card stocks. Let me just get where did I don't even remember where I swatched. All right, let me just cut this down because I don't need a huge piece of paper. I just want a little, just a little test sheet here. Hello, Arctic Elizabeth. Arctic E. Arctic E. Hey, Julie Topaz. Muse. Melody. Charlie Girl. I think I said hi to her. Laura, back from vacay. Swimming with the dolphins. Are we let down from the dolphins, Laura? Okay, so let's just do these. And I actually have these swatched out on I didn't have to swatch them. The colors that these were wrapped in, the papers that these were wrapped in, I just cut the little emblem off of the wrappers and glued it down on she gives you a little swatch sheet, but instead of swatching it, I just cut the colors off the paper wrapper. No, you're glad to be here? Okay, well, it's good to have you home. We expect lots of good coloring from you this week, Miss Laura, after you get the laundry and everything else done. You're glad to be home. Okay, so I'm going to take my water brush. Oh, I need a Kleenex to clean the brush off. I found that to clean off a water brush, a Kleenex works the best. It absorbs your excess, ink or paint or whatever really quickly. All right, so we're going to start with the brown color, and I'm just going to do my own little swatch so you can see how vibrant they are. Look at that. See how vibrant that is? And that's just with one little touch. One little touch of the I didn't squeeze any water into these, by the way. It is a water brush, but I'm not squeezing any water into this. I'm just picking up the color. I want you to see how vibrant they are with just right out of and I could have done this right out of the mermaid marker, but I'm wanting to play in the palette here. This was my point. The point of buying this palette, right? Okay, so here's the third one. I'm going to kind of try to line it up. There's the orange. Let's go ahead and zoom in, guys. Let me go ahead and set my camera a little closer, shall we? Let's refocus, though. Are we pretty focused? Turn the brightness down just a tad. I don't know how focused. Let's get the focus. I need something to focus on. Let's get this. Okay. That's probably as good as it's going to get for this close. Hopefully. All right. It's a little out of focus. It's because of the white palette here, but we're going to be drawing on white paper, so it's probably as good as it's going to get. Okay, so here is, this color is called the Lobster. This is the, see how vibrant that is? Look at that. Dee Dee tried using Kleenex instead of paper towel. You're so, it does, right? It does work so much better than a paper towel. It's a Kleenex just like sucks it like snot. Okay, the next color we're going for here is Starfish. And it's like a magenta. Then the next color is Coral. And it's kind of a coral color, you know, a pinky orange. Petey, I bet. Just keep them lined up. Okay, then the next one is Jellyfish. That's this purple one. It's kind of an aubergine, you know, like eggplant color. Okay. Then the next one is Deep Sea, and it's a deep, dark purple. Then we have, and I got my little Kleenex here, I'm just patting off on. Then we have Bottle Blue. Then the next one is Byron Bay, very turquoisey. See how vibrant they are? You need to unbox yours. Yes, Terry. Oh my gosh. Well, Terry, you've been moving, so you have an excuse. But for real, girl, unbox those babies. Then the next one is Siren, and it's a green. It's like a true rich emerald green. And then Seaweed, which is not exactly lime, but we could probably make a lime with that, and yellow. So there's the colors right here, and I will write the names under them. So yeah, so there's the colors right there. See how vibrant they are? I know, so pretty. My pretties. Jen got her some Pablo's pencils. I think Laura's got the Pablo's and the what's the other one? The Pablo's and the what's the other one's called? I have a couple of the other ones. Not the Pablo's. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I'm sure y'all will both be using them. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start with this green. So I'm going to put some of this green here, and I'm going to kind of squeeze out any excess with my brush. So I'm going to put a little bit of water there. There's water there, no water here. Then clean off the brush, and then I'm going to pick up some of the yellow, and I'm just going to kind of, let's see if we can mix, so you can mix your own green there. I don't know if you can see that, because let's do another swatch. Okay, I need to make another sheet. Hang on, let me make another row. Just to have something to show on the paper, because it beads up. BDI Beth, it beads up. Polychromos, thank you, Laura. I couldn't think of polychromos. I kept thinking Pentel. Yeah, the Pablos and the polychromos, yeah. Okay, so now we've kind of made almost like an olive green. See that green? Well, let's go up here. Let's make some room. Let's make some room. I want to show the colors we're mixing. So you see this green that we made? It's kind of like an olivey, a little bit darker than lime, but kind of an olive green. But if we take more green, all right, now let me clean my brush. Now let's take a dot of the emerald green, okay? Take a dot of the emerald green and back to the yellow again. And we're going to mix those two. And now we have a darker olive green. I'm probably not doing this as well as Jean, Jean's made her some good color charts, let me tell you. Beats up like your eyes. Ah, Beth. So can you see the different greens we're making here? With just the yellow and these two and those two different greens. Yellow and this green, yellow and this green. You girls. I wish if you're watching this recording, you need to somehow get over here on the live show sometime. Uh, all right. Now, let's see what else we can do. Let's make some oranges. This orange right here is kind of almost like a skin peach color. If I want a nice vibrant orange, let's go with the, I want to make sure I keep these lined up. Let's go with the red here, and I'll put a little bit of water squeezed out. Clean my brush. Now I'm going to go back to the yellow up here. Okay. Now I'm going to mix me an orange. Let's do a couple shades. Here's a darker orange. Okay. Let's add a little bit more red to make it even a little bit darker. So can you see that orange there? And now if we add more of the yellow and just a dot of the red, then we'll have a little bit darker shade than that. Maybe let's make just a teeny bit more red. I'm trying not to get it quite that dark, but there. So now we have a couple shades of orange. Yeah, that was kind of cool, right? All right, now let's go with the purples here. So, we're going to kind of keep our uh, uh, primaries and our secondaries. All right. So now let's go with the red. Let's just go ahead and do the red here. And I'll squeeze out a little extra water. I'm cleaning off my Kleenex over here. And then let's go with this purple, which is called Deep Sea. Make sure I get the right one. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I want to go with the purple there and squeeze out. And then I also want a little bit of the blue. So we're going to have the blue, the purples, and the reds in there. See what we can mix. All right, so with the red and the blue, the blue one was Blue Bottle. Let's see what kind of a purple we get. It may not be that much different from that purple, but I kind of want a red-violet kind of color. So let's see here. It's a little more, almost on the brown side of red. It's not as red-violet as I was hoping. Now let's go with the red. Okay, I gotta get some fresh red. I need some fresh red here. And a little bit of the purple. Let's see what kind of color we get there. Because they're all in like this blue and purple family. I'm just trying to get some different shades. It's a little bit lighter. Now if we add the purple and the blue, let's see what kind of purpley color we get there. I'll pull those two together. It's not that much different. But you can see how you can get lots of variation. Oh, my chat froze. Sorry, guys. Okay. And let's see if we add a little bit of the 1, 2, 3, this teal color. Let's see what happens with the teal and the green. Kind of a nice in between these two. So you can see I need a little bit more color in there. I'm trying to clean off my brush before I tap into these because I want them clean. There we go. So you can kind of get an idea. This magenta color, we haven't done anything with that. Let's see what if we did a magenta and a yellow. Let's do a yellow and a magenta. Let's see what kind of a bright kind of orange we'll get with that. Ooh, that's a nice bright orange. with the magenta color. So there you go. There's just some samples. Here's straight off these are the straight colors right here. And here's some variations. And again, some of this has a little bit more water than others, but you can kind of see, you can get some good greens, especially. So yeah, so there's some play with those. All right. Now, the reason I wanted to make sure I put on this, so I can close this and let it, not be, all right, I'm going to have to probably tape that down. Is that going to fall? That might fall into the tray. I don't want that to happen. Where's a piece of? Let's get a little monkey tape going here. Little monkeys, some little sock monkeys can hold this tray down because I don't want it to slam into there. I got a new roll here. Hang on. Oops. All right. I just want a piece of washi tape just to hold this tray shut so it doesn't, whoops. So when I close it, this little tray doesn't like just fall into that and make a mess. Okay, so there we go. There's our little test of the mermaid markers. Yeah, just want a little play with those. All right, now I've already swatched, like I said, I swatched these and then I just keep the little cover, the little wrappers with that so I can tell what colors those are better. The skin colors from the Jane Davenport, and then here's our little mix-in tray again. And then I've got this one here. So we're going to use all this. Now, how I'm going to have the colors and the everything in camera might be another story if we're zoomed in. So I'll try to tell you what I'm using. We got to do a couple sketches first. Yeah, Sock Monkey to the rescue. That's for sure. All right. So, again, I kind of wanted to use the mermaid markers on my ombre manatee. So let's kind of just smooth this up here so you can still see them a little bit. And I just wanted, and again, whether this is going to work or not, I don't know. Okay, I got too many. This isn't going to work. I'm going to have to move things. I have to move it as we go because it's not going to have, if we're going to be close up here. I just want to kind of test out the Jane Davenport watercolors. This is just it's not even watercolor paper. It may not even work on this because it's just cardstock. But what I want to do is I think I'm going to spray them down and get it wet. It's like 110 cardstock, but it's not probably going to blend like it is on watercolor paper. I might have to dig out a piece of watercolor paper just to test it, for real. Do you have a favorite watercolor brush? Yes, the Pentel. This one's my favorite, and it comes in 3 sizes. This is the smaller. I think this is the smallest one, but it comes in a small, medium, and large. You can buy them individually, or I usually just buy the packs of 3 with a coupon. So what I want to do I want to add a little bit of water to, I think, let's just play here. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to spray our manatee with water. Okay, I'm just going to spray him down with water. And he's just got my, I just drew him out with my graph gear, which just has blue lead in it, which doesn't smear. All right, so now what I'm going to do is while he's wet, I'm going to try to take all the colors. I don't think I'm going to start with the brown, though. I'm going to start with the yellow. And I'm going to start with the yellow. And I'm just going to ombre him all the way down. While it's wet. So we've got to do it while it's wet. And it's already pilling up because I'm rubbing. If I don't rub, it won't pill. Let's just see. All right, see, now I should have just thought about not spraying it because now it's going to go out of line. Let's see. I might have to redo this baby. I just wanted to try an ombre manatee. Let's get some of that purpley aubergine color. Eggplant. Let's go with the next purple. Then we'll do a details. We'll draw in details. We'll have to let it dry, of course. So I got a big blob right there. That's a little much. This color is very saturated. The purple. This is the first time I've played with these colors. Hey, Eileen. We're just playing with some the Jane Davenport markers and some other watercolor. All right, let me go back to the red here. I need a little bit more red. Again, this is not watercolor paper, so it's like gonna fight me. Let's go with a little more of the pink. Let's get as much of the bright as we can. That aubergine color is not very, it's just kind of a dull color right there, as you can see. All right, now let's go into the blue. Oops, did I get, oh, I missed that blue. We'll get both those blues. And then the turquoise color. It's quite fun, actually. Let's see, I need a little bit up here. And then we'll do his wing or his fin in the greens. All right, so here's this green. Let's go ahead and put a little there. Not looking at chat. Like Jean says, when you're doing watercolor, you can't really look at chat very much. Okay, and then let's get the light green. And then I'm going to go back with a bit of yellow and get a nice lime green kind of thing going here. Go back to this green. Let's blend this. You got to be quick. Got to do it while it's wet. And we're just doing it on cardstock, so I don't want to pill it any more than it is. Okay, there we go. You get fussy cut. Yes, I could do that, Dragon. I might fussy cut them out. Although it didn't feather too much out. But I should have thought of that before I sprayed it. Like, just sprayed it, right? Needs a little bit more blue. No, I need this blue, I think. Nope, I need this blue. Just a little bit of the blue right there on the edge. All right, so we're going to let him dry. And then we'll see what we can do. Yeah. So there's he's sketched up. There's not a lot to him. You know, he's got a few rolls, but that's pretty much it. I just want to play with it. Again, this is just on cardstock, guys. It's not watercolor paper. So when you oversaturate cardstock, it'll start to pill. You know, if you rub it, the paper breaks down and starts coming apart. So I'm just going to set him aside there. And I'm going to set my Janes to the side. And we'll because I want to now move on to the regular watercolor. But I'm going to just set this. See, this is why I put it in its own palette. Its very own palette. All right, so we're going to set that aside. And we're going to move into these colors here. So let's move these swatches. And these are new, so I want to use them. I've already kind of wet them down a little bit. I've already sprayed them to get them reconstituted. Of course, the watercolor paper, these would be much better. Yeah. And I couldn't find my watercolor paper, Jean, this morning. I have a pad of it somewhere. And I just don't use it enough, right? So I'm going to have to dig it out. These I'm not going to I'm going to be more what do you call it, careful with my colors on the lionfish. So first off, we're going to draw. I got my lionfish right here. We're going to redraw a lionfish, and I also have a picture of him in color on my thing here. Let's go back to my photos. We're just messing with some watercolor today, guys. Just to play. All right, so I have a lionfish here. I'll set him there. He's kind of brown. I think I want one that has more. Let me look up another picture. Hang on. Let me go back to Safari. I want to find another better lionfish colors. That was just too. Some of them are more orange. Some of them are more brown. Kind of like that one's got a lot of color, and even the back, the sea colors are kind of popping from the back, making it look like he has some teal in him. All right, so we'll probably go with that. All right, let's go ahead and sketch him out on some paper. Again, this is just my little sketchbook here where I put down my ideas, and we're going to redraw him. If you have any questions, putting lionfish are meat. Yes, they are, and they're poisonous too, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Eileen? Okay, so let's see how much room I got here. Let's do it this way so I can fit it in. I think it'd be better to fit a lot, because he's a little bit long. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to see. I want him to start here and end here, because we are drawing on white paper. I like to draw on craft brown paper too, but we're going to use watercolor, so we got to have white paper. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but we're going to try here. So we got his fins are going to be here, 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 here. His tail is going to be more down here. Let's move that tail down a little because he's kind of right about there. If you have any questions, put them in caps, and hopefully I'll see them, guys. So I'm just going to lightly just sketch them out here, and then I'll add more detail. I really don't want a lot of pencil marks. I actually want to keep it, to the watercolor. Sometimes you might want your pencil lines to show in your watercolor. And I guess it just depends on what kind of look you're going for. Okay, so this is going to come up around here. He's got another fin kind of behind this one. And there's a gazillion, a gazillion references. I don't really want that to dip down. I think I want it to be more fin-like that. Hey, CB. Kimberly, Fran, thanks everybody for popping in. Hey, Barb. Got Barb W and Barb Owen. Thanks, Barb, for popping in. We're playing with watercolor a little bit. Jean made me. I'm going to blame Jean. And then he's got his big fins are coming this way, and he's got fins coming out this way. And then you'll see his body kind of comes around this way, and then his fins kind of come around there. You can see a little bit of fin behind there. These all flow and float kind of in front of him. I'm just talking it out, talking to myself, guys. Kind of like that. Is this the fish that's not native to the U.S.? But I don't know, Suzanne. There's probably more than one of those. Suzanne asked if this was the fish that's not native, it's invaded. There's probably more than one of those. People that, can't take care of their aquariums, and then they maybe put a little expression on his face there. Okay, so now let's do the loop-de-loops on his fins here. I'm trying not to draw it dark, guys, on purpose. But I know you can't probably see it either. Jean need to go to the corner. All right, and then I want these fins to be much more defined, because these are floating in front of other parts of his body. So I want to be able to distinguish those from the rest of it. Where's my Janet eraser? This is my little, Janet sent me this little mono tiny eraser. See how tiny that is? So I can get in those little areas. And then have another one kind of flowy this way. And erase the background part of the fish. Make him have thoughtful expression, puzzled, angry, contented, looking forward to his face. You're looking forward to his face. Again, I'm going to do this kind of judiciously. I'm going to be careful with the watercolor. I'm not going to like do a wet on wet because this is not watercolor paper and I don't want it to pill because I want to piddle, play, and putter. And then I don't want it to, but I don't want it to pill. And it will pill if I spray it down and oversaturate it, you know. Okay, so now let's see. He's got a few of these kind of coming down here. I'm kind of just making up some of these how I want them to flow. You know, I mean, you can make it however you want. So then let's get rid of that background. And then this maybe have a little bit more. And have some more flowies coming up there. And this one can come down here and around and around. Something like that. Okay. I think I'll leave it at this because and then what I want to do though is these back fins, I want them to have where you can almost see the turquoise. They have looks like little dots. And I want to do that with turquoise. Same for this tail and this fin. Let's have one coming behind him. Let's have that fin be a separate fin. That fin back there. Put some dots on it so I don't forget. Okay. Y'all still with me? Alright, so now I want to kind of decide how I want the stripes. Some are thicker, some are thinner. But I want to just get the directional thing going here. Let's see, something like that. And then these behind his head kind of come around that way. Then these can almost, I want his body to look like it's rounded. So we want these to be, and some are, there's like a thick one in between. It's almost like a stripe, you know, thin and thick stripe. So with that. And then in between some of these, you can see the stripe. There's the stripe there, there. Right to that line. This is another little fin. And then let's see here, like that. Okay, something like this. Still with the tour, people? All right, then these are going to be eraser in between. Oops, too thick. Okay, maybe one more back behind the fin. All right, then this is dotted, and this is dotted. Okay, I think we're done sketching. Still with the tour. Okay, there we go. Again, because I'm not going to do a wet on wet, let me get a good brush because I need a tiny one. Let's see about this one. This one's new, I think. Let's see. All right, let's see if that one will work. I might have to get out my good brushes. Let's see which one of these. One of these two will probably work. As long as it holds a point. Okay, now let me get some color ideas out. And do I want it very, very vibrant? I kind of want to I almost want to over accent. In other words, he's probably more on the brown, washed out kind of orange side, but I'm going to do him brighter, I think. I want to do him like really bright orange, almost like not a true color. Oh, I get something on there. Oh well, we'll have to put some bubbles. All right, so I think I'm going to use some of the, for the brown, like stripes, I'm going to start with this color here. I'm going to pull it off to the side and spray these. Because I don't want to spray my paper. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try to stay in camera for everything. Kind of tough to do. All right, so what we have here, though, is we have this, what's it called? I don't know the names here, but it's kind of like a sienna color, okay? And then we have this orange color, or like a bright yellow orange, and then this orange. So I'm going to try to use these colors because they're vibrant, at least to start, okay? So these are the colors I'm going to start with. Bye, Dot. I'm gonna start with the sienna color because I want to do the stripes first. We're gonna distinguish those, and these kind of have. Well, I did kind of forget something here. These kind of have these little like fan-looking fin things on them that I do want to kind of have. Some of them have more shape than others because these are. Again, hopefully my brush is nice and pointy. These are kind of striped. Again, I'm not wetting my paper. I don't want to wet on wet. Because this is not watercolor paper. Can y'all see okay? Y'all have to let me know. I tried to zoom in, but not get too zoomed in, you know. Can't get too much water. So we're just going to play with a little bit of color. Can y'all tell me if that looks like, can y'all see okay? And I'm just kind of generally going off the picture. Get the idea. I'm not copying a certain fish. I'm trying to use as little water as I can. You can see. Okay, thanks guys. And especially if you're doing it on something like, cardstock or Bristol or whatever, you want to make sure that you don't let it dry. If you want to layer, because now I can get this darker, but you want to let it dry so you can layer it up, right? Hope it's not too, I know it's a little fuzzy, guys, because it's white paper. All right. All right, so now I'm going to try to get some of the stripes in his face. I almost want just direct paint, no water at all. There's his little lip right here. See, okay, all right. It's just okay. And the lines are not exactly straight, because there's going to be thin and thick areas. But right now I'm just kind of going over my blue lines. And I'm just working with the color right here, and then right here some water, a little bit of water. And it's not my water brush. The reason I'm using this brush, not my water brush, for one, it's more pointy. Yep, dry between layers. That's right, Jean. I want very small detail and no excess water accidentally getting on it. So I'm just using a regular brush. And any little water I want is in the tray there. Okay, do they have another little fin? They do have another little kind of fin. Some do, coming off their face. Let's look at this one. I think I'm not going to put that. Some have a little bit of a fin coming off their face, but I'm not going to put that on this one. Don't ask me why. I'm just getting the thin line first, and I'll go back in and find the thicker lines. And I just don't do a lot of watercolor. I've done a few. I've shown y'all some of the ones that I've done, like the boots and things. It's just that really, haven't had much time to, I do my portrait commissions, and that takes all my time, right? All right, let's see. So I'm kind of just like in the shh moment. The fish cousin angry bird. I think I'm missing somebody else's conversation. This is just kind of getting it laid down here. Go in with more layers. You always, with watercolor, it's light to dark. In other words, you have to build up your layers in watercolor to get the darks. In acrylic, it's dark to light. To get your highlights in acrylic, those go last and on top. For watercolor, which I'm not really a purist, but if you are, the white of the paper is the white. I need to put a little water in my tray there. All right now I'm using is this color in the water, just this. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to keep as much in camera so y'all can see. They were saying he was a grumpy fish. Oh, it's all right, Jane. He could be a grumpy fish. Yeah, he didn't get much sleep over the weekend, being, daylight savings time. I just see everybody saying, I didn't get any sleep. I lost, of course, everybody did lose an hour of sleep, but I know it's harder to fall asleep too when it's thrown off. Okay, let's see. Let's have this stripe here. And these will darken up as I layer. This is kind of, quiet, meditative type of process. It's not like a fast. You gotta kind of take your time if you want it accurate, This is a little thicker here, a little thicker there. Thicker right there. Hard to fall asleep, have a little. Okay. Well, I'm glad you got to sleep then, Suzanne. And I think right back in here. Have that a little darker in there. All right. So some of these fins are actually just kind of like almost translucent, and you see the water behind them. So I almost did put this in my coffee cup. So I'm thinking I want to go over here to this little palette, and I've got to wet it down again. And here's the lid to that. So I got the lid here and the palette here. So I want to test these blues. I think I'm going to go with this turquoise color right here. I have no idea what the name of it is, but this color here. So what it is, and some of these back ones here too, but I want to make sure that's dry. Let's kind of move this up. I'm trying to squeeze everything in the camera here without leaving a shadow. They're going to have I'm going to make these blue, and then I'll have some little brown dots on them too. There's quite a few. Alright, same for this fin here. They're going to have little dots on them Just kind of look, if y'all want to look at what one of these look like, just Google it. That bigger palette is integrated. It has colors. Yeah, this is what's it called again? BIANYO. Well, I don't think anything will drip off there, but yeah, this is the... And then this has some little... So what I really want to do is I want to hit this with a heat gun, and then I can erase any pencil lines too in a minute. All right, so now, again, you see the ocean is kind of, these fin things are kind of translucent, and so you're really seeing the ocean in the back of them, through them, like see-through. So I'm going to add the little bit of teal color here on each one. I'm going to try to just use watercolor, but just me, guys, if I was just doing this for myself, I would be probably putting color pencil in at the end, because I like to add little sharp details that, you know, that's just me. But I'm going to try not to use any pencil, just watercolor today on this little piece. All right. Now he does have a black eye though. Let's get a little bit of black from one of these places here. Let's go with the black on the Jane Davenport here. Give him a nice black eye. And there are some little black, well, I don't know if they'd really be black. They'd probably be dark brown. I'm looking at I'm just scrolling through all of the fish, but I'm trying to keep the brightest one. It's probably not the true to color one, but that's the one I'm kind of going for. All right, so let's move. I actually can just set this on top here, I think. So I can use both. Let's see if I do that. Let's just use the Jane Davenport little. I don't care which tray I use. You see, I got all this right here. All right. Now, I'm going to go back over here for a minute to the bright orange in the Jane Davenport. See that bright orange color? And I'm going to do the thicker stripes in here, in between these other stripes. And I'm going to go back over those darker, but I want him to have like a nice orange stripe in between. Ooh, touch the eye. Can you see? Hey, Valerie. Anybody else popping in? It is hard. Jean did say this, and I don't know, somebody else said it too, that it's hard to watercolor and watch chat because you can't like take your eye off of it. You know, you really have to concentrate on. I need a little water here. I'm gonna spray a little clean water. My palette here. You really have to watch where you're going and stuff with your watercolor. So I'm probably missing a lot of chat, guys. Sorry. So I'm just getting a thin, push down, get thicker, and then thin. Thin, thicker, and lift up and make it thin. And then these stripes are going to be in here too. Oops, sorry guys, trying to keep everything in camera. If you're an ichthyologist, don't email me. That's why it's so relaxing. It's more of the art of mindfulness type thing. Yeah, it is. Okay, now I gotta kind of get in here in some of the in-betweens. Thanks, Terry. Terry said he's gorgeous. Thank you. This is one of the shh kind of projects. When I say that, I'm not saying it to the people in chat, I'm saying it to myself. Just FYI. Go around the little belly here. Okay. Okay. Let's take a moment. I'm going to take a moment. Let's see, this needs a little orange right along that brown there. Building up the layers. Thanks. Okay, now let's see. Need a little bit now. I need to go back in with the brown color, the sienna color. Back into this sienna color here. And add another layer. Okay, so again, we're going pretty much over everything we've done, but you'll see the difference it makes. See that? See just that right there? How much that makes a difference between that one and that one? But you have to layer in watercolor, and that takes time. But I was determined to play with these two sets of watercolor and my mermaid markers. Thanks, Laura. Because I got them to use, and I just haven't taken the time since I got them to use them at all, other than swatching. Nothing wrong with that. We love to swatch, and I will watch anybody swatch anything. Laura, I think Paula did some. I mean, I'll watch anybody swatch. I love swatching. So, yeah, I love seeing color go down. And you'll know we've done lionfish in acrylic before. Okay, so now I'm going back in. And I want to go at least on the darkest parts of the brown first. Like down here on the shadow, it would be more, it'd be darker down in here. Be very careful though. I want to stay on those lines. This is tiny business. So I'm going to get the brown lines first. Then I'm going to kind of mix this brown with the orange to get a little bit darker orange for the orange part. So in other words, what I'm saying is I'm going to take some of the orange color here and kind of get something in between the bright orange and the sienna color, something kind of in between, so that on the orange stripes I will shadow those. And make it another depth, another layer of depth on that orange. See how that's working? And then it's going to be up here too, right along the edge of his head. It's going to be darker. See how that's kind of making him a little round? Hey, DeMonte. But you have to make sure the layers are dry in between. Especially this is just, what do you call it, paper? Cardstock. This is not even watercolor paper, guys. So... Alright, so now I'm going to go back to the sienna and go back to my stripes up here, not to make sure there's no water in the... Go back to the brown here. I need a little more distinction around his eye because he's going to have kind of set in eyes there, so might want enough. A little darker around the eyes there. Yeah, Jean inspired me to do some more watercolor today because she's doing her charts, her split complementary wheels. She's doing all kinds of cool stuff. And Jean is she's rocking those landscapes with watercolor. You probably will never see me. I can't never say never, but you're probably never going to see me do a landscape with watercolor. I'm not a landscape kind of gal. I do my landscapes in, if you want to call them that, my worlds in collage, but I don't really paint them. I don't paint landscapes. Jean is really rocking those lately. Okay, I need to add a little. I'm just going to spray my little palette here with some water, just to put a little water on the tray. Getting a little dry. Okay, and I'm just going to keep add another as it dries, just building up the layers here. See how that makes it look rounded? Okay, going back at the top. As area is dry, I just keep adding more. Just building it up. Watched a great video last night on compositional landscapes. Learned tons. Tried to put in. Are you going to show us today, Jean, on your show? Jean comes on at 4. If y'all don't, as far as I know, she's still coming on today at 4. I'm just kind of feathering that out a little at a time. And again, guys, I really don't do watercolor much. But I bought them, so I need to use them. Hey, Guy DC, or well, I guess that's just a number that they gave you. I'm just going to call you Guy today and tell whatever number, unless you want to tell us your name, Guy. All right, now I'm going back up here. And just a little bit of the orange, because this is going to feather out into the blue. They're very translucent, these little fin things sticking out. So I don't want to really overwork those, but now let's go back to the tealy color that I had over here on this other tray. And their fins kind of go out like that. And then these little dots, well, let me go ahead and do these fins first. Oh, I gotta pull out a pack for the weekly giveaway too. I had to move them to the other room. The box, my box of weekly giveaways, because when I rearranged my room, I didn't have room in here for that box. So I need to go pick a pack. If the mods are here, I don't know if any mods are awake. Terry's awake. There's Terry. Oh, thanks, Laura. I'm gonna do a giveaway pack of the old art cards and old art Happy Meal. Now, these little taily things have dots on them. So let's see if I can get enough. Be wet down my color again. I want to get enough here going because I want just a little bit of dot, and then we'll take a break and get the what do you call it, a pack done. But these are going to have dots. Now you better make sure this is 100% dry before you do this, or these dots are going to feather out like crazy. And you can see how far I'm getting with just one load of paint on my brush. Doing all this so far with just the one load. Okay, now it's just now starting to might need some. Larry. He named him Larry. Jessica named him Larry. Larry the lionfish. You name everything, Jessica. I noticed that. Jessica has a habit of naming everything. Larry the lionfish. And you probably wouldn't want to do any too much detail until you're really done, because this can really go bad. This can go bad. I think I want a little, maybe just a little, one more behind here. Look, got the black in there. Let me clean my brush. Go back to that blue, because I remember I had a little bit of the black there for the eyeball. Hey, Samurai. All right, I'm going to do these other dots real quick. I'm going to go get the giveaway. So while I'm doing this, let me tell you how the giveaways work. And I do want to do another YouTube giveaway. I don't forget about you guys over on YouTube that watch and comment all the time. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. So how it works when you're here live is when you see me. Now don't do nothing now, guys. I'm not ready to hang on. I'm just explaining how it works, because it always works the same. When I type in the word go, when I type it in, then you put in a number between 1 and 100, and the closest without going over will send you out the little pack. Make sure if you know I don't have your address, and again, guys, if you don't want to give me your address, just don't participate. It's no big deal. But I don't give your addresses to anybody, so I'm not going to give your addresses out. But if you want a pack of old art cards or art ATCs and different art that I've collected over the years from the group that I have no place, I don't want it just sitting in a box. So Denise and I made like 40, 42, I don't remember how many packs up of, I think I want a couple of these to extend a little further for giveaways so that y'all can enjoy it. Enjoy the mail that I've got over the last 7 years. Cue mad flurry of numbers. Yeah. All right, let me do this last little row down here. Oh, and I got to do some of that up there too. So I've been given a pack a week is what I'm trying to get at. All right, now, real quick, let's just add a little extra dot of blue under each one of these. so far, what's your opinion? Okay, I missed something. My opinion on the paints? They're fine. They're to me they're all work. They're all watercolor. I mean, I'm not such a watercolor purist to be able to tell you if I like one more than the other. I mean, the Jane Davenport um, mermaid ones in the marker, they're very, very vibrant, but I'm not using those at the moment. These are fine. They're nice and vibrant. You can see they're good. I don't know how much better they are than another six and half a dozen of another brand, but they're fine. They're good. They're yeah. Um, Thanks, Terry. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a minute because it's good to let it sit anyway, make sure everything's dry. Because see how I've got these layers going right here? I've got to do that on the bottom half of the fish here, behind these fins. These fins that are in front, his body's behind, so this has got to be darker back in. Oh no, look what I just did. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's okay because what I'm going to do anyway, I was going to do it kind of at the last, but I'll show you how this works. Let me put a little bit of water. So I'm going to get a little bit of watered down teal, and I want this more shadowed on the top of him, so I got to make sure this is very, very watered down. I mean, it's almost like just a wash here. There we go. See how watered down that is? Very lightly. What I want to do is I want a shadow right along here. Maybe just a little bit more. So I'm going to just wipe my brush right across there. Can you see how that made a shadow? I was going to do this at the last for an effect for you guys, but because I touched it right there, now I got to kind of show you how it works. Have I been playing with my... No, I haven't had time yet, Jill. No time for that yet. I mean, I've done a couple swatches and a few things, but not anything significant. Okay, same thing for under his eye. I want him to have a shadow under his eye. So, maybe a little bit darker. So, now you got to be careful because you're going to move the orange if you're not careful, right? See that little bit of shadow under his eye there? Same thing right along here. See, I was going to do this at the very end, but because I blobbed it, I'm going to go ahead and show you now. See that put a shadow? And now I gotta let that dry. If I want it darker, I can't do another one yet because I'm gonna peel the paper. This paper is just cardstock. Okay? It's just cardstock. It's not even watercolor paper. So now I'm gonna let this dry, although I do want a little bit right along the nose there. Okay? And I'll end up doing the same thing underneath the fish here, and probably a little bit on the fins here, and probably here too. Like, let's go ahead and, well, I don't know if that's, oh, I'm going to take a chance here. Watch. See? So that gives it a little bit of a shadow under there. Same thing for this. This will have a little more shadow right there. But you can't be overworking it, because if you do that, you're going to rub off what you just put on. All this can come back off, right? So you got to do this carefully and not overdo. All right? Thanks, Carol Renee. Okay. I'm a blobber. Yes, I blobbed it right there, but it'll be okay. We'll work it in. I'm not gonna, because there's gonna be some blue down up under there anyway. I mean, it's gonna be shadowed under there at the end. What did Jess say? Oh. Oh, you want me to put a tiara on? I don't know. You're probably not talking to me. All right, let me go get a pack of the. Let me go get a pack. Hang on. Again, I have no idea what's in each pack since Denise and I packed them up. So, whoever wins, you get what's in here. I don't know what's in here. And let me also specify this, or let me stress this. If you get a pack and there's no name on the back of an ATC or an art card, don't email me and ask me who made it. I will not remember. This is 7 years of different art. I'm not going to remember who made something, more than likely not, from anybody over 7-year time period, okay? Just saying. All right, so wait till I type in the word go. When I type in the word go, then put in a number between 1 and 100. One number only, please. The closest without going over will win our little pack of art cards. It's a mystery pack. Exactly, Beady Eye Beth. I have to keep saying that. Hubster loves your name. Yes, a mystery pack. Hey, Mac. Yeah. And yeah, Terry's there ready to hurt cats. We call it hurting cats, but Terry seems to think that she likes to say hurt cats. So when you see numbers rolling by, you know it's time to put one in. I know there's a lag. I know all that, people. And there they go. Bam! As soon as I type in go, it's brrr, brrr. So I'll give everybody a minute to put in your number, and then my mods will help me find who's the closest without going over. We're going to do I don't know if I mentioned we go to random.org. Let me go on my phone. It's probably easier. Let me go. And we'll pick a number from random.org. While everybody's putting in the numbers. Random.org. Get them in there, people. Get them in there. I got random.org ready here. I'll bring it up close to the screen when we're ready, because it's going to flash out the camera. All right. Get them in. I'm going to type in stop, so get them in now. Pick a number, people. Pick a number. I don't want this to go on all day. All right. Not seeing any more numbers. Quickly, quickly. That's the whip app. Okay. All right. We're going to stop. Okay, so here we go. Random.org. Let's see if I can get this here. I'm going to bring up the generate area, 1 to 100. We're going to generate a number, 9. The person closest to 9 without going over. 9. Niner. Niner. I thought you were going to write on a piece of paper. No, Lisa. I used to write down everybody's name, and in case somebody had to leave, and I can't do that anymore. Yeah, no way I can do that anymore. People come and go, and we usually have 100 at a time. I can't write down everybody's name and all that anymore. So yeah, the person closest to 9 without going over. Number 9, yeah. Whoever had 9 or the closest without going over. I'm going to try to look too, but anybody can scroll back and look. I'm looking. Grammy had 6, Eileen said. I'm looking. Grammy had 6, so Dragon Sarah had 7. Sherry said, "Hey Sherry, by the way, Dragon Slayer Sarah had 7." Okay. I thought that I think I don't have Dragon Slayer's address either. Let me make sure, because I think she won something before and I didn't have her address. Let me look in my box. Let's make sure, because I got a couple dragons. We have a couple dragons. Let me make sure I have no Dragon Slayer. We have a few dragons. I have Dragonfly. See, I don't think I have Dragon. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, I do. I do have you, Dragon Slayer. Are you in the Netherlands? Yeah, okay. I got you then, Dragon Slayer. Gotcha. Gotcha. And I do send international, so I'm going to put her address on there. Okay, that will go out to you probably the end of the week. Something on my first live stream with you. Yeah, okay, I got it. I do have you, Dragon Slayer. Okay, so let's go back to the little fish here. Our lionfish. Thanks, guys, for playing along. Thank you. You're welcome. We love doing giveaways. It's just kind of like herding cats, though. All right, let's see. Where's my brush? I think this is. I was using a white brush. White. I thought I was using. No, maybe it's this one. All right. Okay. Let's go back. We still good here? Have a couple of dragons and a couple of dragonflies too. Yeah, exactly, Julie Topaz. Better grab another pack. Miss Rose had 8. Oh, okay. I'll do another pack. Miss Rose had 8. Okay. Let me get another pack. Do I have Miss Rose's address? Hang on. I have our old Miss Rose. I don't want to call her. I'm not calling Miss Rose old, but this is a different Miss Rose than our usual Miss Rose. Okay, we'll do another one. It's fine. It's no biggie, people. We got plenty to give away. Okay, so Miss Rose. No, Miss Rose had 58. Oh, y'all make up your mind. Oh. Oh my gosh. She had 58, not 8. Okay, but how about Miss Rose? Do I have your address? Have I ever sent you anything? I might send you something. Gotta send me your address, though, Miss Rose. I don't think I have your address. All right, herding cats, people. Herding cats. Okay, let's get back to. Let's get back to our little orange thing here. All right. Back to my little palette here. Maybe if I do it like this, you could see a little bit. I'm telling you, it is. Okay, so let's get a little bit more orange. All right, now let's see, where did I leave off? Okay, right in here. All right. I'm telling you, people. It's trouble. It's trouble. All right, I'm ignoring my little swoosh of blue I accidentally did. It was almost like the Oscars. That was bad, wasn't it? I didn't watch them, but I saw it on the news. What happened? That was sad. That would be very sad. Embarrassing. We don't want to do that here. We don't want to call out the Oscars and trust me, I have plenty of those packs to give away. If we made a mistake, and we've done it before, to send out extras, it's okay. We are not freaking. We will not freak. Okay, let's see. This one goes this way. I got to get a couple of the brown lines in between here because it starts he starts kind of fading into multiple lines. It was Terry's fault? Okay, yeah. Well, she's trouble. Well, you know, Terry's trouble, people. But she has that name for a reason. But seriously, Miss Rose, I don't know that I have your address. If you want, I've never sent you something. Send me your address. I'll send you out something. It's a freak zone, people. I think, Gene, what happened was is they got handed the wrong envelope. It wasn't that they read it wrong. They were handed the wrong envelope. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just blend that orange out just a little there. And I want just a little, I'm going to go ahead and do the shadow here again. Well, no, I better wait and make sure those are dry. Let me come down here. I'll work down here for a minute. Because I want a shadow under each one of those little fins, but I got to make sure I get everything done on the back layer first. So let's do that first. Yes, I'm using the Jane Davenport Skin Colors. Well, I can't flip the lid over because there's liquid there. It's these colors right here. These colors. But the other than the teal, the teal color I'm using from this set right here. Yeah, thanks, Terry. All right, now let's see. I want a little bit of wide stripes on these. So I'm just going to kind of swatch right over. They don't have to be like perfect stripes. They're more just like almost like it's like a wide stripe, but they're not as defined. They're more blotchy, if you will, these stripes. But you have to wait till the layers dry underneath because this won't work on wet, you know. I mean, you can get a little bit of, but they'll want to feather out. Okay. All right, back to the darker. I might even get just a little bit of that brown. There's a brown there. I'm gonna bring some of that down here. Need a little bit of water. I'm going to spray just a tad in there. Because I want some of this right under. A little bit of dark shadow right under some of these here. I'll feather them out with whenever this dries. Then I can put a little orange on top. Just a little darker up under his body there, where some of those are. This is a little lighter over there. Let's feather that out. Just building it up a little at a time, guys. A little at a time. Your paintbrush, firm as it looks. Well, let's see if I can. I can't turn it. Can't. It's yeah, it's springy. It's I would call it more firm than floppy. But I needed that for these tiny little bits. Now, when I was doing that big wash like that could have been something with the floppy, but it's got to be hold its point on these tiny little bits. So, yeah. How are we doing on time, by the way? Let me check over here. Okay, almost at 2 hours. Okay, I'm going to go for just a few more minutes, guys. Try to get done here shortly by 12, because I want to have time to eat and do a couple things before Janet comes on. So we're going to work for a few more minutes. Okay, I want this orange now. Maybe it's a little bit of the, kind of a little in between that and that. It's not quite dry yet, so I've got to let that dry before I can put another layer, because otherwise I'll just be getting it wet, not layering. Let's work on the back here. I can probably get a little bit more back here. And I need a little bit more stripes too. So let's go in with the dark and do a few little stripes now. Few extra dark stripes. Janet is Monkey Island Madness. Links are open. But y'all can, all of y'all that do channels or whatever, you're allowed to promote yourself here. I mean, within reason, of course, guys. But I don't think we don't have that problem with any of the people here going crazy with Lincoln. So just want to get a few of the nice dark ones there. Alright, now let's try to connect them with a little bit lighter shade. Throw some geese over the house. Head into the pond. It's hard to read chat though when I'm doing this, guys. I gotta say, it's tricky. Ask Jean. Thanks, Valerie. All right. Let's work a little down in here. That might be dry. Well, I've got to get a little bit more shading under here. Some more stripes in between. the link you gave. Thanks, Jean. Thanks, Jean. Yeah, it's on cardstock. I know, right? It's a little tricky on the cardstock. Okay, now I want to do a little bit darker, another little layer of the kind of blotchy stripes. They're not real defined. They're just little kind of splotchies of color. Something like this. All right. Let me do a little trails here. Little fishy trails. It'll look kind of wavy like. All right, now I need to do shadows. I'm going to hit that with the heat gun because I don't want to do those blue shadows under those fins without that being 100% dry. So, heat gun. And then I also have a little bit of blue pencil still in there, like where I just kind of made the line just so I could have a line to follow, but it wasn't really, it was just where the tail would end. So there's still a few little blue pencil lines I see. Make sure, please make sure that your thing's dry before you try to do any erasing. All right, so now let me go back to my blue here. I'm going to wet it off to the side. So my turquoise tealy color, let's just put a little right here. Wet it down. So what I want to do is I want to shadow under each one of these. Your watercolor. Oh, thanks, Scooby. Okay, so now I'm gonna have it just dark enough and just wet enough to put a shadow under each fin. Of course, I could always go back and put another layer, but it's real subtle. Because remember, I got that big blob right there of Kleenex. Too much. So don't get in too big of a hurry here at the end. Can y'all see that little bit of shadow under there? I'm going to let it dry before I do any more layering. And then this will be darker right in there. Let's feather that out because I want to come to the end. All right, I want a little bit of the brighter orange in here. So I'm going to come back over here and wet down the bright orange. No, you know what? I think I'm going to go with this orange right here. This yellowy orange. Yeah, there we go. Because what I want to do, oh, I'm making a mess on my paper. What I want to do is I want some of that bright orange kind of in these little bits here. Kind of, remember I said I wanted it almost a little bit on the bright side. So yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of that, I think. And the same thing for on these fins that are coming across his body. I'm going to make them brighter than they really are, because I want some bright in there. Because he's our fish and we can do whatever we want with them. And I'm also going to put some of this on the tips of the top. Up here. Which technically it's not there, but I want it there, so I'm going to put it there. And then just the tiniest more bit of orange. I want a little bit more brighter orange in some areas. Just a little water here. I want just a little bit more bright color in him. Flowing through his body. All right, gotta let that dry, and then I wanted to do a little bit more shadow. I'm the boss of my sad and lonely lionfish. I could make a tear. Oh yeah, we could really make him sad. Trust me. We could. I actually want this shadow just a little darker. Let's mix all that up there. I want where these fins are in between, right in there. I want those just a little darker. I gotta let that dry though. It's just gonna start pilling. So I need a little bit more blue in there. Could almost do maybe just a little extra wave of something. Let's give it a little more interest in those fins. And then it needs these on the ends here to have a little bit more as well. A little more water. No hugs for Larry. He's poison for a reason. Lionfish poison. Almost got too much there. Larry the lionfish. Alright, now one last little pass of the teal color here. Just putting a little bit right here. A little bit of water. Very little water. hope you had fun today. If y'all missed the first part, we did a little bit of Happy Mail from Miss Vicky B. Showed a couple magazines I got. Showed the little drawing I did for my niece. If y'all missed that, oh my gosh. My niece, I did this, her dog. This needs more shadow right there. There we go. Her dog passed away a week and a half ago. And I showed the picture. I'll show it again. I'll make everybody cry. No, I'm not trying to make you cry, but it was so sweet. So my niece and her daughter, their dog, Chi Chi, is like their BFF. Well, Lisa posted this picture of Sabrina. She's asleep on the picture of the dog. There's the frame there, and the dog's behind there. She's fell asleep on the picture of her dog. So I did this for her. It's already wrapped up in plastic and taped down and everything ready to go. So there's her dog. I did post it on Twitter and other places, but anyway. So it's behind plastic, so it's a little flashed out. But anyway, so we did that for her. All right, guys, I think that might be good enough. I think. I don't know. There could be a little bit more darker, little stripy things on his top fins here. I know, right? Look away. Oh no, so sweet. Trying to get any final bits here that I might want to, touch on. So, anything else, guys? Got any questions or anything? The paper's really oversaturated. I can't really do much more to this because it's on cardstock. I would really like a little bit more definition under here, a little darker shadowing under here, but it's really, the paper is oversaturated. I don't think I can get much more going on there. Oh, but I did want to do one other thing, and that is a little bit of this blue, extra shadow of this blue in the darkest areas here. I did want to do this. And right under here. Maybe a few little traily things out here. Maybe that's enough. Only 8 more pages and you have your backgrounds done. Oh, wow, Carol Renee. That's awesome. I haven't finished mine yet either. Yeah, I know. It's just cardstock. It's 110 weight, and I have smeared it up a little bit here. Let me put a little bit more shadow right under his eye, because his eye would be a little set in there, like that. There we go. And probably right around that fin as well. As long as it's dry, that's the thing. I'm not letting it dry as much as I probably should. But I didn't oversaturate a lot of areas. That's the key. There we go. So yeah, Larry's sad. It's just the way they look, you know. Thanks, Marilyn, for posting links to my playlist. So, any questions, guys? You're welcome, Tam. And thank you guys for being here. And thanks, guys, for watching on YouTube. Yeah, I'll post a picture. Let me see where I want to sign it. Do I want to sign it right here? If I sign it right here, I don't want to look like he's pooping out my name. And this just doesn't, this needs to be a clean space here. I'll sign it right down here. So, yeah. All right, guys. We will see you. I'll post on Twitter. I'll post on Twitter, guys. Uh, thanks, Miss Rose. Miss Rose, did you see where I need send me your address if you want me to send you a pack of cards? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.